Hi everyone, I'm James and I'm a realtor with ERA Four Feathers Realty in Sierra Vista, Arizona. And today I'm going to be explaining an important document every home buyer in Arizona should know about, the buyer broker agreement to show property. Now, why does this matter? With recent changes in the real estate industry, this agreement has become a key part of working with an agent here in Arizona. And in today's video, I'm going to break down what it is, why it's important, and how it impacts you as a buyer. So you may be wondering what happened. Why is this form such a big deal now? Well, this all started with the National Association of Realtors, or NAR. They had a lawsuit, and this has aimed to address how real estate compensations are going to be handled. So this has been an industry-wide change. Now, while Arizona state law does not require this form, NAR's guidelines and changes has made this an industry practice and standard. They have made the buyer-broker agreement a requirement for realtors working with buyers. It ensures transparency and the roles, responsibilities of both the buyer and the agent. So, what does all this mean? In short, this agreement is now the standard way to formalize the relationship between you and your agent, especially regarding how realtor compensation will be handled, that there are no surprises for compensation later on. So, what is a buyer broker agreement to show property? The buyer broker agreement to show property is a written contract between you, the buyer, and your real estate agent. It's going to set clear terms for the service an agent will provide, such as the type of properties you're looking for, whether it's commercial, land, or residential, how long this agreement to show property will last, and compensation rates. Now, this is not a purchase contract. This form does not obligate you in any way to your agent. You can have multiple signed agreements under a buyer broker to show property with different agents. This is just to view property. Now, if you want to submit an offer on the house, the agent and the brokerage whom you've submitted the offer through will be the one actually being compensated. Now, if it helps you, you can think of this as form as dating, whereas an employment agreement, a purchase contract, is marriage. So this is all necessary because it helps ensure that everyone is on the same page from the start, especially when it comes to things like the compensation expectations. Now, some of you might feel a certain kind of way about signing anything, and I get that. But if you look at line 4, it states, notice to buyers. All realtors are required to have a signed written agreement prior to showing a home to a buyer. It's laid out right there. I'm not allowed to show you a home unless I have something signed that says I'm allowed to show you a home. So what makes this agreement important? Well, clear representation. It's going to show that I'm just showing you homes. Now, there is a portion for agency. We'll get to that in a moment. It is going to be very clear and transparent on your compensation schedule, right? It's either going to be a percent or a flat fee. And there's another box for other. 99.9% of all transactions are going to be a percent or a flat rate. This form will also help avoid misunderstandings. That way, there's no confusion later on. There's no potential for misunderstandings. From the very beginning, we are both going to be on the same page. Now, some elements of this agreement. The duration. So it's going to specifically say how long this agreement lasts, and it's for a set period of time. So you know exactly how long this form's good for. Now, typically, I will make mine for 1 day to a week, depending on circumstance. The compensation. Now, this is going to detail the compensation structure, and typically, historically, that has been paid by a seller. That is not a law that is not in place. It's just important to understand that compensations are always negotiated, and they're not set by a government agency or the NAR itself. If you look at lines 12 and 13, it goes on to say, broker compensation is not set by law, nor by any board or association of realtors, multiple listing service, or any manner other than is fully negotiated between the buyer and the broker in this agreement. Okay, so no one is setting compensation rates except the agreement that you and me have when we have this conversation. Now, on line 10, and as I mentioned before, agency, line 10 mentions agency, and that is a separate form, and I'm going to be doing a video on that form all by itself. But agency lays out what I'm obligated to perform as your agent if you were my client. So again, while Arizona does not require this form specifically, it is an industry standard. All realtors who are part of the NAR will have to do this. This agreement is essential for making sure that everyone understands the working relationship, especially the compensation expectation. So again, this is the new standard for realty. So to sum this up, again, not state law, but it is the standard. If you want to see properties, you need to have one of these filled out. So if you're buying a home in Arizona, be sure to ask your realtor to explain this form to you. It's a very simple form, right? It's one page, but you need to understand the terms and the condition, and you want to be starting off your real estate journey on the right foot. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more real estate tips and insights. Thank you for watching.